All right. Injuries are still the same as they've been. Basically, it's still the same 5 guys. Hopefully, we'll start getting some guys back out here. Obviously, Denarius Moore was back out here today, so he got a chance to get a little bit of work. So hopefully, some of those other guys will start coming back here pretty soon.
Has he got some kind of brace on? It looked like you had some kind of brace on or something.
It was just a little wrap that he had on his lower leg. That's nothing. It's still, the hamstring deal is the issue.
What's it like with the fans here and how the players react to actually having 1,000?
I thought it was good.
Out here?
I thought it was good. I thought the fans were great. I thought the players reacted well to it. At the end of the day, this league is what it is because of the fans, and so our ability to do something to give back and give them an opportunity to come and check out what we're doing here. There's a lot of excitement around here, so I thought it was a good situation for both the fans and us as an organization.
So what kind of marching orders did you give them for the fans being in the stands? Like, did you want them not playing to the fans at all, or did you want them not to pay attention to the fans?
As far as our players?
Yeah.
No, I didn't really make a big deal out of it. I think really at the end of the day, my expectation for us as a team was to come out here and focus in on getting better and practicing football, and I think for the most part we were able to do that today.
What are you seeing from the receivers so far, Dennis?
A lot of speed. I think we got some young guys. They're learning how to play the game of football, but I think our explosiveness and our speed from a wide receiver standpoint gives us a lot of options.
Now here a week into camp, we're talking about changing the culture of this team. What actually are you able to do implementation-wise here at training camp to start working toward changing the culture?
It's all about the mindset, and I believe in that. I believe, you can do a lot of things if you set your mind to it, and so we talk a lot about, the mindset and determination and not letting anybody else be in control of what happens to you, and that you're in control of yourself, and to take advantage of the opportunities that you have. So really it's all about the mindset.
Talking about the receivers, you mentioned about Darius the other day about him being a bigger guy, being kind of a veteran guy, but he hasn't been able to have the production of a star receiver. How do you get a guy like that to be a leader when a lot of times the leader is the guy who has kind of been that guy that's been consistently productive?
Well, I think really at the end of the day, the leaders are the guys that are going to do things the right way, that are going to be exactly what we talk about, and being smart, tough, disciplined football players that are going to do it the right way no matter what the situation is. And then they're going to hold everybody else accountable to the same standard. And that's the thing that I'm looking for him to take the leadership role in that room. I'm not big on stats. I don't pay much attention to it. We've got enough good football players that we can spread the ball around. And I think we're not concerned with who catches 75 or 100 balls. I'm concerned about how well he's blocking on the running plays. I'm concerned about how well he's running routes, and I'm concerned about his mindset going into the season. And so far I've been pleased.
How much do you prod a guy in terms of personality-wise if they're not maybe outward as another guy, but you want him to be a leader? Like if Darius has always been pretty much a guy that let stuff roll off his back, even when he was struggling the first couple of years. You wouldn't see a major difference in him than when you had a good practice. So if that's just the way he is, do you still try to get him to exert himself more with the younger players?
Well, listen, I think there's a lot of different ways that you lead. Yeah. People talk about leading by example. He can be a guy that can come out here and do it the right way every time. There's nothing that says a guy, even though he might not be a vocal guy, that says he can't get on to somebody if they're not doing it right. We're all held to a certain standard, and at the end of the day, we've got a job to do, and we got to make sure we get our job done, no matter what who's called to do what. We got to get our job done.
You say you're not worried about the stats from that position. Are you okay with not having a clearly defined number one guy?
Oh, absolutely. I think our ability to use our weapons in different ways and be able to spread the ball around gives us can give us an advantage. I think a lot of times when you have a guy that's the go-to guy, teams are able to kind of game plan against that. So I think having a bunch of versatility and a bunch of different types of receivers, is a good thing.
a lot of talk outside of here of Plaxico Burress showing some interest. Any interest on this end?
Well, I mean, I'll say this. I mean, we're going to look at any options that there are out there that we think can make us better. So, whether or not we make any moves or not, that's to be determined. But we're not going to rule anything out.
But you're happy with what you have in camp right now at receiver?
Yeah, absolutely.
After having a day off yesterday, how'd the team bounce back with tempo and energy and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I thought there were some points in practice where I thought it got a little sluggish. I didn't think we started off real well in the first kind of group period. It was a little sluggish there, but I thought as we got going, it picked up a little bit.
Was there any change made to this practice at all with regard to the fans being here, or is this the same practice you would have had if no fans were here?
This was the exact same practice we would have had if no fans were here. We're focused in on how we're going to get better as a football team, and we don't worry about any of the outside influences. We're just worried about us.
Up to this point in OTA's mini camps and the beginning of this camp, it's been basically discussed that a lot of the multiples you guys are wanting to institute have yet to be instituted. You were kind of sticking to the basics. Have you begun bringing that into the fold now?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the things that we're going to do, we've even in OTAs, we mixed some of that stuff in. But we're going to continue to add as we go along, and we still got a long training camp process, and we still got a lot of stuff that we got to get installed, both offensively, defensively, and in the special teams between now and when we kick off on Monday night against San Diego.